Welcome to our live training session number 11, part 3. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at tuning our high cam, fuel, and ignition timing tables, as well as setting our VTEC engagement point and covering some other very important details in our calibration file. We're going to have a lot to learn, so let's jump into this live training session so we can get started. Welcome back to our live training session with our Honda S2000. In the previous video, we took a look at optimizing our fuel and our ignition timing on our low cam. Now we're ready to move into our high cam operation and do our fuel and ignition timing tuning. We're going to be starting off in our fuel tuning in closed loop. We looked at that open and closed loop method. We're in full closed loop right now. This is how I prefer to tune. And we have set up the knock control. So if we see any kind of activity with our ignition timing on the high cam, it's going to start to step in and try to pull out some ignition timing. So we're going to be seeing that. We've set up the knock threshold table so we can trust it. We know what to expect. Now before we start the engine up and get started doing pulls, let's jump into our high cam ignition timing table. We can see right now on our low cam table, we see the values we settled out here about 25 degrees. We're going to be assuming on the high cam table here that at the last 3 columns, we can run at least 25 degrees timing because we knew we optimized that for the low cam. I'm going to go and pop my values in here of 25 degrees. Now in my vacuum portion operation of the table from negative 23.3 to negative 14.6, I'm going to put a value here of something like 36 degrees of timing because that's about what we ran part throttle on the low cam. And then I'm going to do a quick blend here between these, do L. You can see we've just linear interpolized the spark timing values. So now we have ballpark values, and typically what we find that works on the low cam will be at least that much on the high cam. I'm going to be expecting to probably go up another couple degrees here on the high cam. I don't know where we're going to be at, but we're going to find out. Now the other thing we're going to find here in our high cam fuel, we may or may not need to add or subtract fuel from this. We don't know where we're at on this, but we're going to be just kind of running with the values in here. We know on our base table here, we saw values of 80% VE, 84% VE, so we know we're going to be switching over to the high cam, and we're probably going to need around the same values. Now, I set my VTEC point in the previous video at 3,000 RPM, so I'm going to be going into my dyno right now and commanding the pulls from 3,500 and going up here to 8,400. That way to 3,200. So we're in VTEC already, and we're going to go to 8,400. We're going to be in VTEC as we start our pull, and then we can focus only in on the high cam of operation. So we've essentially locked it into the high cam. So at this point, we're ready to fire it up. We're going to just run with the values in here, see what our O2 correction is going to be showing us and guiding us to make our changes to our table, similar to what we found on the low cam. Now, one thing that we can take a look at here that we're able to, now that I had the engine kind of shut off here for about 20 or 30 minutes and let it cool down, go into our post-start enrich table, and we're able to go and dial some values in here. Now, we don't know what the air fuel is going to be when we fire it up. We're going to find out. Now, if it fires up and it runs lean, we can see our wideband reading right here. We can go in and add some more value into our table here, and chances are we might need to. We can take a look at what our status is here of the post-start. It's going to be showing us it's adding 10%, interpolating between 8 and 12. And then as time goes on here, after the after start time, it's going to be after we exit the cranking RPM of 4 to 500, and we go into the post-start here, it's going to be transitioning to the table in time. And then we can see here, once we get to the last column, that's going to be